All right, training camp day one is in the books. Landry Locker, Cody Stutes, we were on the scene, and there was a lot going on. I thought it was a very active day, off the field, on the field. Where do we want to start? I maybe we start with the pup list. The pup list came out, and there were some surprising names on there. There were some that perhaps we expected, and there was even more to that. But the guys who were not on the field, give them the list, dudes.
Yeah, so the physically unable to perform list, and these players can be activated at any time. So a lot of times it's guys that just haven't passed the conditioning test. Sometimes it's things that are more serious. But the names that are on the pup list, Tank Dell, obviously there's a little bit more to his situation. Jimmie Ward, obviously there's a little bit more to his situation. We'll talk about that. J.J. Taylor, Dameon Pierce, Casey Osai, who is a rookie undrafted free agent, Eli Cox, who's also a rookie undrafted free agent, Trent Brown, coming back from his patellar tendon injury last year, Foley Fatukasi, Kurt Heinisch, Derek Barnett, and Danico Autry on the pup list to start camp. Joining them via the non-football injury list, Joe Mixon and Elijah Huzzie. So the notable name here amongst all of it is Joe Mixon is not practicing.
Yeah, we've been talking about the foot injury or that was or wasn't and the boot and everything. It's a non-football. Now, Schefter does say that he's not going to be out for too long of a time. But this list is interesting to me because I know it's early, and I know that you kind of look at it and you say, okay, well, there's plenty of time and these guys can get back out there. But I mean, good Lord, Dameon Pierce. Like that's the one
that's the guy.
That's the one that it just sticks out. And it's like, man, like we keep saying like, this is the opportunity for him. This is the opportunity for him. And Joe Mixon's out. He's RB1 no matter what. And you just think, okay, well, here's an opportunity for Dameon Pierce. And then you look and you're like, okay, well, Dameon Pierce isn't practicing. Kurt Heinisch, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. Fatukasi, he was banged up last year. So you have that. Trent Brown, we expected. He was kind of pacing up and down the field before. We don't know whether we'll see Trent Brown or not. We don't know what happened with Barnett. That hasn't been like a consistent trend. And then Danico Autry just turned 35 years old. You kind of wonder about him. But the thing that is the most interesting about this list for me is it's a lot of guys who've had just trouble staying healthy. And then you get there to the first day of the offseason, they're not there. Now, this can change at the snap of a finger. There's going to be 3 straight practices. So maybe we see three more straight practices. So we're going to get one Thursday, we're going to get one Friday, and we're going to get one Saturday. So maybe we see these guys kind of creep back. I don't, that's not going to happen with J.J. Taylor. That's not going to happen with Jimmie Ward. And then your guess is as good as mine with some of these other guys. But that's really what stuck out the most to me.
Well, I would tell you with the guys that are hurting themselves the most by not being ready are Dameon Pierce, obviously. I mean, when Joe Mixon got hurt last year in the regular season, Dameon Pierce was already hurt. And he didn't have a chance to take advantage of not having Joe Mixon there. And here we are again, Joe Mixon's hurt, and Dameon Pierce doesn't have an opportunity to take advantage of no Joe Mixon. So he's the one that's hurt the most by not being ready to go, especially if Mixon needs to take his time to get back from his foot injury. Then Kurt Heinisch, I mean, this dude was a healthy scratch for Tommy Togiai last year. Like, Heinisch was healthy and him not playing, not active, so they could play Tommy Togiai. Guess who's out there? Tommy Togiai. Guess who's out there? Keontae Hamilton and Junior Tafuna and Tim Settle and Sheldon Rankins and Mario Edwards. Like, there's guys out there that Heinisch is going to have a hard time beating those guys out if he can't get on the field. And then for Danico Autry, I mean, it's defensive Noah Brown. Like, hey, we like what you can do when you're healthy and you're there, but if you're never healthy and you're never there, we may just need to go in a different direction.
Yeah, that's the thing that that really kind of sticks out to me is Dameon Pierce. And I will say this. Did not anticipate this. I'll say someone who's kind of benefiting from this opportunity, depending on how long the opportunity is. British Brooks is going to get a crack at running back. Mm-hmm. There is no possibility of British Brooks playing fullback. So you look at these running backs. Nick Chubb is is what he is. He's not what he was. He is what he is at this point. British Brooks kind of sticks out when it comes to looking at the running backs because he kind of has he's a massive back and he also has a little bit of explosiveness. And we did see him run the ball pretty well in preseason last year. But I think of all the people that are kind of benefiting from this stuff, like I wasn't even ready to like entertain the possibility of British Brooks making the team. And I still think it's a long shot, but I do think he's going to get every opportunity at running back.
Him and Jawar Jordan just look like totally different human beings. They play the same position. And British Brooks, I think he had probably the best run today of any of the running backs. It's very limited, no pads. They can't, make contact with each other really. But they opened up a hole. He took care of business. And look, if Woody Marks is going to have a big ramp up period as a rookie, British Brooks was good on special teams last year too, which helps his case. It's not out of the question that he could find himself with an opportunity. The path for him to the roster is certainly more clear if Damian Pearson going to be practicing, and British Brooks go out there and get something done with the running backs, and then continue some of his special teams success that he had a year ago.
On the super chats here as SNL reacting to day one of Texans training camp. Trill Kick. You ain't never Swarm says most anticipated stream is here. Landry, any way too early golden retrievers, not Mertz. So guys who are moving bad on the offensive line, not really. None of them are really moving great, but there's no one that looks like they're kind of washed up. No, like I call it the Matt Khalil, Shaq Mason thought that nothing really there that sticks out. But then again, the pup list is huge. There might be some possibilities there.
Yeah, you're
massive.
The golden retrievers that are there may not have made it to the park just yet.
Yeah, that is true. They haven't gotten to the dog park yet.
Yeah.
Jacob on the soup says, where is Cody and who is this 16-year-old covering from today?
Yes, I did shave my mustache, and
big mistake.
Seemingly 95% of the people thought that was a bad idea. So
yeah,
it's not like the Play-Doh play set. I can't just and then have it grow. It's going to take a minute, but it'll come back.
HD AV Traveler, he notices. You ain't never Swarm. Afternoon, Landry, Cody, and friends. What's different about Cody today? LOL. He looks like he honestly, like, damn it, Bobby actually is kind of alive because of something that Cacerio said.
Damn it, Bobby.
But he kind of looks like Hank Hill without the mustache. So it's a little bit more appropriate now.
I think I have somewhere around here. I got a pair of Hank Hill glasses. Whoa.
You look like him, man. B Jizzle on the chat.
Damn it, Bobby.
Not damn
Thank
it,
you.
Bobby.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm says football's back. MFs. You bet your ass it is. It's a lovely time. It was hot as hell, by the way.
Yeah,
very much enjoyed it. But the podium is just crazy too because everybody was bunched in there. Kunkel's sitting there. There's like a whole like beam of light just on my back. Greg Bailey's peeking out like he's like a prisoner trying to put his head through bars behind my shoulder to where like the beams coming through. There was a lot going on. JB, the Annihilator.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm. So what's up, everyone? Do we expect Stroud to be more of a vocal leader on the field? For example, getting in O-lineman faces after poor performances, or can a non-QB step up and hold others accountable? CJ mentioned today that and we kind of thought last year that it was obvious that the schedule caught up to him and the offseason and all that. He mentioned time management, and then I asked him about what he could control. He said his communication, his attitude, and his play. So I think CJ kind of indirectly acknowledged that there were some things that he's got to figure out. So I do think CJ will be fine. I don't think he's ever going to be like throwing his helmet like Tom Brady and cussing at people. But yeah, it does seem like he's got a decent grasp, at least of what he did wrong last year.
That's a really good point. That he is a guy that has talked with Brady before, and And I know they're showing him some early Brady stuff to kind of get him ingrained and grooved into this offense, but it doesn't strike me as the break a tablet and MF somebody on the sideline type of guy. So
Yeah, that's not
that
it.
is true. It's true. That he'll let Nick Caley do that for him.
Trill Kick X says, reminder, Will Anderson Jr. ain't no fashionista. He's a effing fisherman. Yeah, he got asked about the fashionista by. Shout out to Coco over there at Fox 26.
That was quite the question.
Yep, fashionista. Did he really do that, or did he just wear like a normal outfit? I didn't know that Will was like. I didn't think he was doing anything crazy. Maybe I missed it. I'm not like on these guys' grams that much or anything.
I was unaware that Will Anderson in fashion was like a thing.
Very gutless performance by Will Anderson today, I will say. Very gutless. Just not great.
What do you mean?
Dude, pick a side. Who's stronger, Daniil or Myles Garrett? You work out with both of them, man. Pick a damn side. Just kidding. Logan Taylor says, which offensive player stood out today in practice? That's a good question.
There was not so today they kind of eased into everything. So there weren't
a running back. Damn sure wasn't a running. We can eliminate running back right now. It damn sure wasn't a running back.
So there wasn't a lot of like offense versus defense opportunities. There weren't that many. The guys I had written down were the three best catches of the day were Jalen Knoll, Jared Wayne over on the sideline, and Braxton Berrios in practice. So I tell you, those three guys, and Knoll being, I mean, he's quick, man. He's so quick. So I'm so excited to watch him a little bit more.
I would say that really it was team period 2. Team period 2 would be where we got some offensive stuff, and this is where we kind of saw the slot guys and the tight ends doing their thing. But you had Brevin Jordan with a catch, Schultz with a catch. Then Blake Fisher just got completely bitched by Will Anderson. There's no other way to put it. I wish I could be more articulate. He just got completely bitched. And then there was a quick slot find to Knoll. There was a quick out to Higgins. The longest pass of the day until the final play, Mr. Wayne. I know Wayne doesn't get a lot of love around here, but Wayne had a nice catch. Then you had a combo interior sack. Solomon Byrd got him some Fisher there. And then Johnson caught a pass and Berrios. So there was a little bit of everything. There wasn't like anything massive when it came to offense. Like team period 1 was just terrible. I think there was 2 passes down the middle off of receivers' hands, one of them being Wayne and one of them being Higgins.
Yep. Higgins had a drop.
And then there was the Mertz was actually the only one to complete one. So I would say Braxton Berrios did a decent job for himself. If you're asking me, like, would I bet on Braxton Berrios making the team? The answer to that would be perhaps not. But what happened with Braxton Berrios, there were 2 things. Number 1, he had one of the biggest plays of practice, which was the final play of practice. Number 2, he was out there, so he was available.
Yep.
And number 3, he had the best day fielding punts, which might not be saying a lot, but there was a muff by Knoll on kind of a Townsend shank, and that's going to be a way that Braxton Berrios is going to play his way on the team. And I think you got to stack your victories. He's obviously not going to make the team over Knoll, but if he establishes himself as a better punt returner than Knoll, then I think it'll be in his best interest. So I would actually say that today, if you're asking the offensive question that you did, Logan, and we appreciate everyone in the chat, I would say Braxton Berrios had the best day.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, if you factor in his what he can do on special teams as well, certainly it was him. Christian Kirk and Jalen Knoll had muffs in the punt return situations, and Berrios was clean, man. He's tiny. God, he is so small.
Little guy.
He's smaller than I mean, I've honestly watched him play football before, but he's smaller than I remember. That's,
Yep.
But hey, sometimes he gets lost and the defense can't find him, and he's gonna make plays. He'll make the team.
The Rhino on the soup.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm
Says, damn it, Riz Master Cody, say some chicks for the rest of us.
I guess I kind of do look like the little fat kid.
Who else does Cody look like? Get it in the chat. Who else does Cody look like?
I can't even imagine what folks are going to say.
I'm just waiting for Jim Cornette to walk out behind you with a tennis racket. It's Vader. Time.
I got hair. Vader didn't have hair. I got hair.
He wore a mask.
I got hair.
On the chat. My goodness, my friend.
Hey, thank you.
Swarm.
We love you, man.
Very generous. Thank you so much.
Very generous. If you're going to be out of practice, let us know. We got you covered, my friend. But much love to you. Jared M., biggest offseason body transformation. I will say this. This is random because I know you have a couple. I'm going to go outside the box, way outside the box. I'm going to go 3 and below on the depth chart. Irv Smith.
Oh, yeah. We did talk about that.
Irv Smith looks like he's kind of trimmed up a little bit.
We did talk about that. That is true. They lost a little bit in the midsection there.
Yeah, Irv Smith, pause. But yeah, Irv Smith.
Yeah, that's a good one. Look, Titus Howard's in the best shape of his career. And, maybe thinking about learning about losing your job probably puts you in that position, but he's in the best shape of his career. And I actually feel like Ursary looks a little bit better than he did in the offseason program, and he didn't look bad in the offseason program.
Yeah, he looks like I'll say this about Ursary, and we'll get to the offensive line in a sec. He looks like he's maximized his free time as a rookie. He's maximized his free time as a rookie. And the getting off the bus factor, I'll just jump into it right now. I won't really say it. We don't need to tease it. The getting off the bus factor with him at right tackle instead of Blake Fisher, it's significant. Like it just looks more like a decent offensive line before a play is even run. When you look out there, and we'll talk about what the first offensive line looked like, but when you see Ursary instead of Fisher, it just looks more like an impressive, solid offensive line.
He's got it. Like Ursary has a presence because of his size. He has a presence out there. Like you notice him. He stands out. He looks larger and bigger than a lot of his teammates. And if he's going to start at right tackle, then we know why they were so enamored with him, and we know why he's here. Blake Fisher is officially in a dogfight for his position, and it's day one, and he's officially in a dogfight.
Yeah, he was anyways. Sim Sam says he's not going to be at practice, but he's sending it from Minnesota, which is an excuse for me to go little Yachty. I've been waiting for that. I knew I kept that around.
Thank you again, Sim Sam, man. That's
Jared M. already asked the question about the body transformation. Dom in Jersey. So we're in Minnesota and Jersey. Rep your sets. He says J-Lo said Kenyon Green looked good out there, expects him to win the left guard spot. Any truth to that?
What is he talking about?
I don't know. What is he? What is he talking about? Is this like a joke?
Oh, is this
like a radio joke?
I don't know. I don't know anybody that listens to that station after 10 a.m. So
I don't know. I guess that's a little bit of a joke. Dom with the jokes.
Look, for as far as looking like a left guard, the guys that they ran out there first at left guard, Laken Tomlinson, he looks more like a left guard than Kenyon Green ever did. Now, we'll see if he could fulfill the role, but he looks more like a left guard than Kenyon Green did.
Which is a really solid transformation or transition. Why did I say transformation? Transition to what the offensive line looked like in the first walkthrough period. And this was something we were keeping an eye on. And there were 2 new faces on the starting offensive line. Now, in minicamp, it was Cam Robinson. We're going left to right. It was Cam Robinson, Laken Tomlinson, Andrews, Howard, and Fisher.
Yep.
But you still had Robinson at left tackle. You still had Tomlinson at guard. Jared Patterson was the starting center. You still had Titus at right guard. And then you had Ariante Ursary instead of Fisher.
Yep.
At right tackle.
Yeah, I know it's, and I tweeted this as it was, they were doing group install is the name of the period that they were in. Ariante Ursary only played left tackle at Minnesota. And all these offensive line coaches will tell you, oh, well, left tackle or right tackle is totally different. The example they always use is, what if you wiped with the other hand? Like, that's how different it is. And so he basically has never played right tackle. And now a rookie is getting the first crack at your position, Blake Fisher, after you finished the season as the right tackle last year. That's not good. That's really bad for Blake Fisher. It's great for Ursery. It shows that they have some confidence and he's done enough to get that opportunity. That's really bad for Blake Fisher.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to overreact and say for sure that Ursery is going to be the starting right tackle. It looks different when he's out there compared to Blake Fisher. I can't really like explain it any more than that. It looks different.
And then Blake Fisher went out there and he's the only offensive lineman that just one-on-one got his ass kicked today in any of the team stuff. And It's like, that's not good for you, man. That's like, it's day one. Like, it almost felt like today was like a, hey, hello, wake-up call. And it's like, is he going to answer it? Is he going to answer the wake-up call? Is he going to be able to turn this into a competition? Or are they just going to have to run the rookie out there at right tackle?
That's really interesting for sure. You know what else is interesting? How great Bobtac is. Yeah. Shout out to Bobtac, locally owned and operated. They've been in Houston doing their thing. Bobby's been in the business for 45 years. You go to bobtac.com. They got you covered with the safety supplies. 409-744-8225. Give them a call. Give them a text, whatever you want to do. There's companies that claim to be the ones that get it done. They don't. They leave you on an island. They put you with AI customer service. They don't handle business, whether it's PPE, spill control, trucking, maritime supply, protective clothing. They got the pops. I talked to someone who ordered some gloves that they needed around the house because they got it all covered for you. 409-744-8225. Give Bobtac a call or give them a text.
Free on-site delivery locally. And the big giant companies that got those slogans where they lie, yeah, they're not doing that for you. Bobtac will do it for you. Check out the website. If they don't have it, they can get it for you. Just give them a call. Reach out to them. 24/7 availability, and they mean it. You text them, you call them, you'll get them.
Yep. And Bobby's like Mike Jones. He'll just leave his phone number out there for you to text or call him anytime. He's like the safety Mike Jones. Nick Cacerio kicked off training camp today, and I thought it was interesting. I'll probably get in the night stream. I'll get into the nerdy ass like contract thing, which I basically just went out there and just put it on a tee for him because I knew he probably wanted to sound off on it.
Mr. Cacerio, your driver, please.
Yeah, and he was in on it. But I thought the money quote from Cacerio was when he was asked about, and I think Kunkel asked him about having the right kind of guys and the right kind of culture. I think this was a shot at what they let go in the Stephon Diggs, Laramie Tunsil. That's just me. Maybe I'm making too much of it. It wouldn't be the first time I put out a video of it. Let's hear what Nick Cacerio said today as training camp kicked off at 8:30 live here on SNL.
Yeah, football is ultimately about the players. So if you have players that walk in the building with that mentality and mindset, I would say, we're very purposeful with the type of people that we bring in the building because in the end, like they're the ones that are going to go out there and play. So you win with toughness, you win with physicality, you win with selflessness in this league. So who are the players that have those requisite qualities? We certainly prioritize that. You have to be able to play football. Like, I'm not going to put my head in the sand and be naive to the fact you have to be able to go out there and execute your job and play football. But you can find players who are good at football and have the other traits that we prioritize and covet. So we make a commitment to that. And at times, if you feel like you're going to step outside of that, that's okay. You just want to make sure that you have a reason for doing that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and you look at the guys that they prioritize, like, because when you say prioritize, it means you have to make a decision. And the decisions that they made and the guys that they're going to pay, they fit in more than the Tunsils. And he basically said you can be good at football without that. And sometimes you look past it, but it's not there. And I'll say this, we said this in the moment, Diggs not hanging around and working out with the team. That's not something that they just ignored. There's a reason that they talk about, and D'Amico talked about Jalen Petrie staying around and working out. The romanticized story about Stingley working out in the building when he got his contract. That stuff kind of matters to them. And whether you think it was a proactive attempt at a culture change. I think they did not want to keep the Diggs and the Tunsil vibe around much longer.
You win with selflessness in this league. Laramie Tunsil was a Pro Bowler on the worst offensive line in football. I mean, it's, Laramie Tunsil would tell you he got his job done. Couldn't figure out why the offensive line wasn't any good. Like, it's the opposite of selflessness, the opposite. And then Diggs, it feels like once Diggs' injury popped up, they knew that was going to go pretty south pretty quick last year. And, they were probably pretty content to have the Patriots pay him a handsome sum and see you later.
On the super chat,
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
Stone Alone 5 times says, let's go Texans. Shout out to Stone Alone, our guy. Derek Yu says, could Fisher have been a Slowik favorite? Texans football is back, LFG.
Maybe. I mean, they felt like they had a better offensive line when they moved Titus inside and played Fisher at right tackle. But I can't imagine Bobby Slowik was like, hey, let's draft Blake Fisher. And they were like, sure, let's listen to Bobby. Like, I don't think that's what happened.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Staying with the offensive line, JB Allen. Shout out to you. Shout out to all the love today and the enthusiasm about football. We got you covered. We're going in depth. I'm going period by period on the 10:30 stream. So we're going to go in depth period by period. We'll even break down the stretches, observations. Not too in depth though.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
Boy, he really was touching that right toe. JB Allen, the Annihilator. He says if Trent Brown is healthy at season start, what is the percentage that Brown starts at right tackle? A 6'8" right tackle would be nice. I would say the percentage is very low. And I would be surprised to see him as still an effective football player. He has been cleared for football activities, whatever that means. I didn't see him doing any football activities today. But Aaron said that he's cleared for football activities, but he was not out there, but he was walking around.
Yeah, so cleared for football activities and then didn't do any football activities. It's like, okay, sure. Could be worse. Could be Christian Harris, where you're not on any list and you're just not there.
Which is kind of what I want to talk about.
But, yeah, to answer JB Allen, the Annihilators, I would say near zero. Because I don't believe he's going to make the team. I don't believe he's going to be healthy enough to make the team. And they've got Ursary to start at right tackle. So,
yeah, as far as the offensive line, I would say that the biggest story, and the offensive line is going to be one of the big stories. It's been the biggest story of this franchise, really. If you look at just like the total package. There's intense position battle between Ursary and Fisher, and there's the center battle right now. And then it appears the left side's actually set. I'm not saying that means it's good, but it appears to be set. And I don't think Titus Howard's getting threatened either. So I feel like 3 of the 5 spots, I'm not going to say they're locks, but they appear to be. I would be kind of surprised, especially on the left side, if that's not what it looks like with Robinson and then Laken Tomlinson at guard.
I'd be shocked if Laken Tomlinson's not the left guard. And then I would tell you there's a very, very tiny chance that Robinson's not the starting left tackle. The other 3 spots, there's a little bit more movement to him. And Titus feels like he's got a little bit of a head start at right guard, but I wouldn't put it past somebody challenging him.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what that looks like. Juice Scruggs still kind of holding the bag. Although he did get first team rep on team 2. And he was very excited. He was going up and shaking hands. I thought it was CJ Stroud with all his handshaking with the O-line. He was excited, man. He was ready to go.
At left guard between Ursary and Andrews.
So the Christian Harris thing is interesting because he's not on the PUP list. He missed all that time last year. And it's kind of funny because I was sitting with you because they got a new media section, which, by the way, I think you and I were the only ones that wanted. I guess people didn't want to be too hot, but it was like such a better angle of everything going on that I'm going there every day. Yeah. Like it's the best area. It doesn't have shade. You're not chatting with people as much, but you get a better look at practice. So I'll be there every day. But we're sitting there and we look down at the PUP list. We're kind of gathering our stuff. They tell us we can go to that new spot. They're doing team install, which I think was period 3 today. And the offense is on the right and the defense is on the left. And I just kind of look up and I go, dude, Christian Harris is not out there. And I go, have you seen Christian Harris? You go, I have not laid eyes on Christian Harris. I go, yeah, that's EJ Speed right there with the linebackers. I go,
so then we started going through all the linebackers. I was like, okay, there's Jamal Hill.
And I'm like, did he change his number? Does he want new vibes or what? And he's not out there. So then we kind of ask around, and I guess Christian Harris is not on a PUP list. He's not hurt, but he's not out there. So we got to see a little bit of EJ Speed. I think EJ Speed is a really, really good insurance policy. He's tall as hell. Like he's a little bit taller than the other linebackers. Like he's 6'3". He's a solid 6'3". But yeah, no Christian Harris. So you sit there and you go, oh, right, Christian Harris. And then it's, wait, not really.
Yeah, well, this is just adds to the legend of Crypto Harris. Let me tell you, you can't actually see it. You can't actually touch it, but it's worth a lot. It's going to be good for you. Just like Christian Harris. He's not actually there. He's not actually practicing, but he's going to be good. Crypto Harris continues.
Yeah, because that's what I was looking for at the linebackers. I was like, what does he look like? Oh, well, don't really see him. So there was no Christian Harris. Look at this kid right here.
Oh, we getting invaded again? Yeah, 48 absent. What? She's got a bumper sticker on her forehead. Wave.
Say
hi.
I'm a walking billboard.
Hi. Billboard Locker joining us. That's incredible.
All right. Yeah. Don't know. Now she wants me to hold it. Okay. Got it. Thank you. Where the hell did you get that? Anyway, so no Christian Harris, the offensive line doing their thing. The wide receivers, hell of a competition. Brandon has a good point. She is here more than Christian Harris. That is a fact. She's not injury prone. She's very tough. She'll fall and she'll get back up. So,
oh man,
we had that. Another guy, speaking of defense, Jimmie Ward. This was the most anticipated question. I got to tell you, I've kind of come to a conclusion here when it comes to Jimmie Ward. I think you've probably come to the same conclusion.
Yep.
But let's hear from Nick Cacerio first, talking about Jimmie Ward and how he feels about the situation. The GM spoke at 8:30. D'Amico spoke after practice. Let's hear what Nick Cacerio had to say.
Kind of working through that. I mean, kind of let the legal process kind of take care of itself. We've been in contact with the league. We'll work with the league. We'll be compliant on our end. We'll do the best we can. So I think it's day to day, but kind of let that process kind of take care of itself, and whatever the outcome is, we'll handle it accordingly.
Now, so he's not getting released. There you go. He's not getting released.
And he did add that Jimmie Ward reported he's been in the building, and even if their legal situation was not present, he wouldn't have been able to do much right away because he's still recovering from his injury. So just wanted to add that in there from Cacerio as well.
Yeah, and that happens with Jimmie Ward. We all know that.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the thing.
So we talked about this. D'Amico Ryans and Jimmie Ward, they go way back. Their football lives, like ever since D'Amico Ryans has entered the NFL in the next phase of his football life as a coach, Jimmie Ward's been there. He's been through a handful of position changes, multiple destinations, multiple battles, multiple games, and they know each other very well. D'Amico Ryans was asked about Jimmie Ward. Let's hear what D'Amico had to say about his buddy Jimmie.
With Jimmie, it's unfortunate anytime something like that comes out in the news and that happens to one of your players. Jimmie's a guy that I've known the longest since I first started in the NFL. I've worked with Jimmie and know the type of guy that he is, and we'll just let the legal situation play itself out there.
Now, the phrasing there is interesting because I'm sure most people would say that Jimmie Ward did something to someone else, and the way D'Amico Ryans said it was happens to your player. So,
yeah.
The legal process is going to play out.
Yeah, it feels like he has his back. Like it feels like he has his back, and we wondered what it would be like, but it feels like he has Jimmy's back. So that's kind of how I took it. Like it didn't
let the legal process play out is the right approach if the player has any chance to help you as a football team. Like if they're the 90th guy, okay, you're not worth the trouble. See you later. I don't care if we believe you or not. Let the legal process play out with a guy that they might want on the roster. Okay, well, if it turns out that he did it according to the legal process, then they can get rid of him. If it turns out he didn't do it, then they didn't make a rash decision.
Yeah, I think he's a good depth piece. Now, I will say this was kind of an interesting observation.
This is one that only we would have noticed, and you noticed it first.
So the problem last year when you faced the Chiefs was that you really didn't have anyone to line up where Jalen Petrie did. Jimmie Ward, in a perfect world, if he's healthy, he's going to be your backup nickel, and he's going to be doing those types of things. So they didn't really have anyone to do that. But in defensive install today, and this is we're creeping up on the 1-year anniversary of Jalen Petrie starting kind of a new practice routine where he doesn't practice with the safeties, he doesn't practice with the linebackers, doesn't practice with the corners. Like he has his own section.
Mm-hmm.
And I call it the Petrie practice. And Jalen Reed, the rookie, he actually was doing the Petrie practice in rookie mini camps and stuff like that. Today it was that Arthur Maulet that was following around Petrie and having that type of practice and that type of performance. What does that mean? Don't know. But he was not with the corners. He was not with the DBs. He was doing the Jalen Petrie practice, as I call it.
Now, Maulet was a slot cornerback and did do a fair amount of blitzing for the Ravens when he was in Baltimore the past couple of seasons, and that's kind of what he's done for a lot of his most recent years in the NFL. It is interesting to me that it's just those two guys initially. Now, training camp's long. There's a couple, 6 more weeks or whatever it is. So maybe some other people leak over there from time to time, but those two being just the only two initially that do the Petrie practice is an intriguing element to this defense. And I would tell you gives Maulet a big-time leg up to a lot of the depth pieces at cornerback, because if he can back up Petrie and play special teams, that's a very useful football player.
Yeah, that's very, very useful, to say the very least. So I think Jimmie Ward, they're going to let this play out. They're kind of stand by him. So there you go. Then there's the quarterback, CJ Stroud. He did throw. There was no general soreness. He spoke after. We talked about how it seems like he's ready to manage new time and the system and everything that goes with that. CJ, what was your biggest takeaway from what CJ had to say after practice?
He seems to be refocused, and it feels like last year humbled him to a pretty good degree. And I know there's a lot of stuff last year that was out of his control that made the job difficult. There are things that CJ Stroud didn't do well that made the job difficult last year too. And it feels like he's tried to eliminate those things and give himself the best opportunity. Just the way he talks about it. He talked about his offseason. Hey, reorganized his time better, used it better, however you want to phrase it. Obviously, we saw him everywhere after the rookie year. He was nowhere to be found after the second year. And looks like he's refocused and dialed in. And I got a hunch that at the end of 2025, he's not going to say, well, it was harder than I thought it was, which was essentially what he said at the end of last year.
Yeah, I thought it was a good stuff from him. I do think there might be a little guilt like with how it went down with Bobby, because I think he really liked him as a guy. I just think business kind of took over. We talked about D'Amico being loyal to someone that he goes back to San Francisco with. Boy, he damn sure wasn't loyal to the guy that he started his San Francisco tenure with. Bobby Slowik. Goodness gracious, man. He needs to put on that 50-cent bulletproof vest after D'Amico did him like that. All we wanted to know was what you liked about Nick Caley's system. I know it's sometimes human nature to kind of crap on the new guy, the old guy when you're talking about the new guy, but damn, D'Amico, between the square peg round hole and all this stuff, goodness gracious.
This was quite the comment from D'Amico Ryans. Let's see if you catch the part that's very much about Bobby Slowik.
What excites me most about Caley's offense is that it's evolving and it's being tailored toward the Houston Texans and the guys that we have on our roster. So what excites me the most is not just copy and paste from other places that he's been, and he's been very successful at other places, but he's been very, very thorough with the installation process of where do we want to put our guys, what position, what's the best spot for our guys to be in. So you look at it through that lens, it's going to be about the Houston Texans. And that's what I love most about the offense is him being able to be adaptable and put our guys where they need to be.
I mean, and the thing is, like, this isn't reading too much into it, because that's literally what happened. Like that was literally the frustration, was there wasn't adapting. There was the square peg round hole. I always use the Robert Woods trying to turn him into Nico Collins when Nico Collins is out. Like it's talking about using your past experiences valuably. Like I don't think it's malicious. I just think it's true.
Damn it, Bobby.
And I think it's encouraging that they are at least aware of it and willing to make the change. What it looks like, who knows? But I think it was definitely shots at Bobby Slowik.
It felt like a lot of times Bobby Slowik had his, binder that he had of his copied pages from Kyle Shanahan's playbook. And he was just like, here's the play. Like, let's run it. And it wasn't working. It wasn't good. And especially the evolution, there wasn't any for Bobby Slowik. He was pretty much the same guy in the NFL, figured him out, and they didn't execute with the players' strengths in mind. It was exactly what Bobby wants, and they try to fit it. And you've said the square peg round hole a couple times, and Caley's been a few different places. Obviously, the most notable two being New England and LA. And if he tried to copy what he had from those guys, they'd suck too. But he knows that he can't just do that, and you got vastly different rosters and players and situations too.
I do think the slot, especially with that last pass period, you kind of got a little like, I don't even know if it was an appetizer, like it was maybe bread before, but you did kind of see how they were going to move around and use guys out of the slot. And we got a little picture of tight end. Brevin Jordan was out there. He looked good to go. I mean, he had a nice little play. He's moving around. Looked like he had a little kick in his step. Looked like probably the most excited guy walking out there. So
they ran a really nice play for Brevin, and To'o saw it. He just couldn't get there in time, and Brevin kind of leaked out to the outside, caught it, turned it upfield. It looked a lot better on social media than it looked in person. I know that's the people.
Yeah, he saw it. He was kind of like that. It's like it's like Cody reaching for a check at dinner. It was like, oh, there it is. Little slow reaction. You couldn't quite wrap it up there.
How old are you? Everybody's got the little toast tabs now.
Nah, not everybody. Not everybody.
That's true. Not everybody.
Yeah.
I will say, as far as this new offense, you see movement at the snap during pass plays. You see movement at the snap during run plays, which is an element that has been missing. And you definitely see the focus on get the freaking ball out of the quarterback's hands. So many of the completed passes in the team periods today were quick passes, quick plays. I mean, 4 or 5 yards and out, and boom, the ball's out of the quarterback's hands. And that was all the quarterbacks. It wasn't just C.J. Stroud. It was Mills and Slovis and Robo Leg, and they were getting rid of it fast. There wasn't a whole lot of just like hold it, pat the football. And ironically, the one time they did kind of have a long developing one, Will Anderson ripped Blake Fisher's head off and would have killed C.J. Stroud in a live rep.
Yeah, it killed him. Thanks again, Sim Sam. We appreciate you holding it down out there in Minnesota. Have a good one. We very much appreciate you. So that's really day one. Did I miss anything? Special teams was kind of blah. We didn't see any kick return.
They didn't do any kickoff, so we don't know exactly who the kick returners are yet.
I don't even think Fairbairn had his cleats on.
Fairbairn, I think he's featuring at the Improv on Friday. He had D'Amico Ryans cracking up in one of the special teams periods. D'Amico was standing.
I thought you were serious, and I was going to go buy tickets to watch that dude try to do stand up.
He was standing there. He was standing in for Tommy Townsend on like one of the punt block protection units, and D'Amico Ryans was standing next to him. And D'Amico, when he's surveying, he's looking like this, and he was looking at Kaimi, and D'Amico just kept looking at him and laughing. And Kaimi must have been firing on all cylinders out there because he had D'Amico rolling. I don't think you missed anything. I think we got
John McClain got his John Weeks question in. The general had to get the John Weeks question in. He asked about Arnett right off the top. That was my favorite thing. He goes, y'all haven't let anyone in that's had an arrest record like him. He got that in number 2. I think that was right after Jimmy, and then you knew he was going to get the Weeks question in. McClain is very hurt by this Weeks news.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. McClain, he retweets a lot of stuff, but I took a video of Austin Brinkman, the long snapper, warming up. I was like, hey, no John Weeks. This is the guy. And McClain, the one thing that McClain retweeted today, he retweeted that one. I was like, yes, I knew it.
The one thing that he retweeted, or one thing he retweeted from you?
From me.
He's never retweeted one thing in a minute. So
yeah,
let's make that clear.
There was one really funny moment where Jakob Johnson caught a pass and he was going down the field, and he and Damon Arnett collided, and Damon Arnett flopped to the ground, and Jakob Johnson just kept running. There was no resistance presented by
Damon Arnett. He's a big mother trucker too. He's 6'3". I didn't know he was 6'3". I knew he was a fullback. I don't know like how many 6'3" fullbacks there are, but I always thought they were a little bit shorter. He's huge.
I am very intrigued to see how useful he is beyond just like what you would typically think a real fullback would be used.
He's a better receiver. I'm telling you, like just watching it, like in minicamp, I said this, he's a better receiver than we gave him credit for. And he's also working on the rep. He was doing the Will Compton, the rep that's going to make the team for him. He was doing the protector rep right there. Oh, yeah. And he was doing it mentally too, not just with it. He was doing the personal protector. He was off those 2 steps right there, protecting Tommy Townsend. That might be the key, but he was going through the mental rep and getting it on the sideline.
He was off behind everybody else when other guys were in there, and he was doing the rep.
That's the key right there. Do a little shuffle, baby. Big dude, man. Trill asks, how did the blob look? Do I know who the blob is?
Baby Legion of Boom.
Oh, duh. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about the defense. Like I can't really point to any.
They just
by defense. There's nothing bad.
They didn't deploy them. Like there wasn't a moment where they had an opportunity to really show off. And it's probably great for the defense. The way the offense got rid of the ball quick is probably how a lot of opposing offenses are going to initially play the Texans. So they need to get used to it, because that's one way to neutralize Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter off the edge, is just get rid of the rock.
Dude, he was beasting fools today, though. Daniil Hunter.
Yeah, Daniil Hunter, he read perfectly a run play towards his side, and then they tried to cut it back, and then Tim Settle was there waiting for the running back, and it's like, if Daniil Hunter's going to start stopping the run in addition to pass rush, and Will Anderson does what he does, like, how are you going to run on the Texans? You're not. You're going to run.
So what are we looking for tomorrow? We've put a pretty decent bow on this. Shout out to everyone here. We were 4,500 deep. Shout out to everyone for the love. The night stream tonight, SNL throughout. We'll be in West Virginia in damn near 10 days. So we got you covered there. We're going out there. We're working. We're watching the whole practice. But tomorrow, what do we want to see? Maybe some new bodies. Christian Harris, maybe. I might try to get rid of that stock. No, not yet.
It dipped today.
No. I'm buying more. I'm buying more after today. I'm buying more. I'm not.
Oh no.
No. I'm dying on this hill. I just bought more Christian Harris stock. It's now half penny stock.
You're every one of my friends that's invested in crypto is just like, it dipped today, but I'm buying more.
Yeah, I'm in.
I'd love to see a little bit more from the running backs. I know that it's not padded practice, but I couldn't tell you one thing Woody Marks did today. And they drafted him over some other running backs that were way more highly touted. So it'd be nice if somebody showed up from a running back.
The running backs suck today. There's nothing endearing about these running backs. Now there's no Dameon Pierce, there's no Joe Mixon, but it's not. And the offensive line's probably outmanned. But yeah, keep it 100. Derek says, are we going to the Greenbrier?
Oh yeah. We'll be there. We'll be there. More offensive line shuffle. Let's see if there's combinations they want to try before they start to kind of settle into who and where they are.
British Brooks, I guess, was the most interesting. I don't know that he did anything awesome. He just the most interesting, like just as far as on the eyes, but there's not like a play that I can point to.
Also in the pecking order of wide receivers, Hutchinson's ahead of the rookies still.
Yeah. We expect that. The Berrios thing is going to be a factor. He did himself favors today. I would say the people that did themselves the most favors today were, if I had to pick three, Braxton Berrios, and that's just because everything that he could do, he did, and he did a decent job. I guess Ariante Ursary, and a lot of that has to do with Blake Fisher having a bad day. Sometimes you can get wins when the other team gives it to you. And then I guess EJ Speed, he's a good insurance policy, and he's with the first team special teams, and he's out there for Harris. So I guess EJ Speed.
I'll go with the two tight ends that caught the balls today. Dalton Schultz took care of his business. Brevin Jordan took care of his business. And let's see if Cade Stover can join them tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Cade.
Cade Stover got a lot of love from Nick Cacerio.
Well, they asked a question about him. It wasn't like unsolicited. Because you can get unsolicited. Jalen Petrie gets the unsolicited love.
Hold on, but
you asked a question about him love.
Yeah, but Cacerio said nobody has taken advantage of the offseason program more than Cade Stover has.
He doesn't look different. Like I guess he looks a little bit more trim, but I don't think he looks like that much different. It's not like a massive notice.
It would be hard to find a player that's improved as much as tight end Cade Stover in the offseason.
Oh yeah, by the way, I think CJ Gardner-Johnson's just basically like safe because they love MJ Stewart. And this might be kind of connected to the previously mentioned Petrie practice that we saw from Mollett. That they let MJ Stewart have some reps. They like him, man. He's kind of like their Eric Murray of the last couple of years, where they just keep him out there. But CJ Gardner-Johnson is just kind of a safe starter. I'll tell you what, I think he's allergic to special teams drills. Like I think there's a restraining order on him in special teams drills because he is like at least 50 yards away from it. He was juggling today with the DB coach. And then I heard him say, we need to do that in pregame, man. And it was like, but yeah, he and Azeez Al-Shire, as soon as special teams happens, they are bye-bye.
They even had, it's so funny you say that because they even had, at one point, Stingley was on the scout team special teams. At one point, Kalen Bullock was on scout team special teams. But Azeez and CJ Gardner-Johnson, they went and chilled in the cold room.
That's because Stingley just doesn't want to leave a football field. Like, I know Stingley's got like a serious girlfriend now. I think, I don't know. I haven't really kept up with it, but I bet they get married on a football field. Like he probably going to propose to her. Like he's probably going to have like a romantic dinner set up on like the 10-yard line. Like he is like, when they say stake 48, yeah, he might have stakes to be on the 48-yard line of the freaking practice field. Because Derek Stingley will not leave a football field. That's the only place he wants to be.
That's funny. I
Care
like
if it's
that.
special teams, doesn't care if it's anything. That's just what he wants to do.
48 stakes on the 48.
Yes. That's what he's got going. So that is your day one observations. Again, we appreciate y'all very much for rolling through. This is just the start. It hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped. Y'all been seeing us throughout the year, but you can tell that business is a little bit better now, and it is absolutely booming, and the Texans got their stuff going on. Favor from the few hundred remaining, few hundred plus, damn near 400. Be sure to like the video. It would mean a lot to us. Subscribe, ride along. Do the same with the locker room. I have a video out with talking about the 2 quotes. I'm going to do the night stream tonight. We'll go period by period and have some fun there. Cody's going to be doing his thing. And when it comes to this Texan stuff, whether you got a beautiful mustache or just a chubby, bald face, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together.
Party City closed, so I can't go do the Bobby Valentine. I have to order it off Amazon. Eat good, sleep good, be good, grow your mustache. We'll talk Texans again soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.